Hello everyone and welcome back. Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to talk to you about the logical operators in JavaScript. So we are now introducing the logical operators. I hope you're excited. The logical operators are one of my favorite topics in JavaScript and they're absolutely fantastic if you want to test for multiple conditions. Okay, so for example, so far in this course, we've essentially been learning about, the if statement. If some condition is true, run some code. Otherwise, maybe run another piece of code. So, for example, maybe you're testing if the bank balance is above $500. You might say, let bank balance be equal to, I don't know, someone has 12,000 for some reason, and you're testing if the bank balance is greater than or equal to 500. You might say, okay, we will give you credit. Okay, we'll say you can get a loan. Okay, awesome. But what if you wanted to test multiple conditions? So maybe someone to get a loan from our bank, not only did they need to have a bank balance of greater than or equal to 500, but they had to be currently employed. They had to have a job. How would you do that based on what we've learned so far? Well, this is where we're going to bring in the logical and operator. So the logical and operator allows us to test that multiple conditions are true. And all you need to do is use the and symbol, okay? But we're not going to type out and. It's represented by a double ampersand, okay? So for example, maybe this person is employed. So we might say, you could say like has job or is employed. We're a bit professional, so we'll say is employed, okay? And we're going to set that to the Boolean value of true. So now what we could do down here is we could test, okay, is their bank balance greater than 100 and are they employed? So is employed strictly equal to true, okay? So guys, this is the and operator in JavaScript where we can test for multiple conditions. So that this is a bit of a tough example, is employed and bank balance. So let's just take a step back and make it more simple. Do you remember Jessica had her birthday party and it was her night out? Okay. Well, maybe we want to test that, Jessica's friends are over a certain age and that they've paid. Okay. So Jessica's friend Rachel comes up, right? So we want to test that Rachel has paid the cover charge to get into the nightclub and that, she's over 21 years of age. So we'll say that Rachel is 29, right? So Rachel is 29. So we say let age equal 29. And then we want to have some sort of has paid variable. So we could say let, has paid be assigned a value of true. Okay. Maybe actually she hasn't paid, but Jessica has paid the cover charge for everyone. So really it is true, right? They have paid. So how would we check this? Well, what we can do is we can have our if statement. And remember, both conditions have to be true for us to let them into the club. So we can say you can enter, otherwise, else, we just say console.log, you cannot enter tonight, or something like that, okay? Awesome. All right, so now we have to test our conditions. So the first thing we're testing is age greater than or equal to 21, okay? And double ampersand. So ampersand is above the number 7 on the keyboard. I hold down shift and press 7. That's how I get it. And has paid is strictly equal to true. Okay. So what do you think is going to happen? Whoops, sorry, bit of a space there. Okay. So we're checking that age is greater than or equal to 21. Okay. So that's the greater than or equal to that we're using there. And double ampersand, we're checking that has paid, the Boolean variable, is strictly equal to true. Okay, so anything that's true, that would be considered truity in JavaScript. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen? Well, both conditions have been met, right? Rachel, Jessica's friend, is above 29, so age greater than or equal to 21 evaluates to true, and has paid, this Boolean variable, is equal to true. So both conditions have to be true for us to enter this part of the if statement, okay? So that's the key thing about and. Both conditions have to be true. If one condition is not true or is false, then this entire thing here, this entire condition evaluates to false, right? But in this case, it's true, so we let them in. So we have, you can enter. Okay, awesome, right? Now, as I say, all of that has to evaluate to true. For housekeeping purposes, I actually like to wrap both conditions I'm testing inside of parentheses. I just think it makes it easier to read. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're just wrapping this condition here, this test, inside of parentheses, and then we have this second test here. So the person's over 21, are they, and have they paid? Okay. Now, what happens if one of these conditions evaluated to false? So maybe they were actually only 19. Okay. Well, as I say, if one condition evaluates to false, then the entire statement, this entire condition, will evaluate to false. So now we're doing our check. Is age greater than or equal to 21? No, it's not. Okay, so that check is false. And has paid. Is has paid true? Well, has paid is true, but the age is not greater than or equal to 21. Because we haven't met both conditions, this entire statement here evaluates to false. So we don't enter this code block. Okay, so this whole expression here is considered falsy. We don't enter this code block of the if statement. We come down here to else, and we log out, you cannot enter tonight, because while they've paid, they're not over 21. Okay, so you see there, you cannot enter tonight. If hypothetically a few years went by and they were 24 years of age, so now they are technically able to come in based on the age check, but maybe has paid is false, they're trying to pull a fast one on us, we're not letting them in. Okay, key thing about the and statement is both conditions have to be true for someone to be admitted to our nightclub. Okay, if both conditions are false, so maybe the next person's 20 years of age and they haven't paid, well, that's false. They're not greater than or equal to 21, and they haven't paid, so they're definitely not getting in. Okay, so guys, that is the and statement in JavaScript. A real world example of this is, imagine a streaming service like Amazon Prime or Disney Plus or Netflix or whatever the case may be. Let's say me and you are making our own streaming service with some sort of fun content. I don't know, walking tours of Berlin or something like that, right? Maybe we want to check to see that a user has signed up to our platform, okay, but that they're also logged in, right? So we could test that as well. So we could say let has signed up, or you could say is subscribed, is a user, is subscribed is equal to true, and then let has logged in, or we could say is logged in is also equal to true. So we could say if both these conditions are true, so someone has basically signed up to our streaming service and has paid, looks like they have, and they're also logged in, so logged in, yes, then we want to show them the walking tour video of Berlin. I was actually in Berlin in 2015, nice place, haven't been back since. So what we could do is we could do our check. We could say is subscribed, so have they signed up to our platform? Okay, we want to check to see if that is equal to true, and we want to see if they've logged in. Okay, so if both things are true, we will basically say here are the walking tour videos of Berlin. Maybe we'll say like enjoy or something like that, right? Else we might say just please sign up. Okay, else console.log, please sign up and log in to view the videos. Okay, awesome. So is logged in is strictly equal to true. So what are we doing here? Well, we've created two variables. Is subscribed is a Boolean value assigned a value of true, and is logged in is a variable assigned, it's a Boolean variable also assigned a value of true. Okay, so what we can do is we can just wrap these things here, our two conditions we're testing for, inside of parentheses just for readability. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen? Well, is subscribed has a value of Boolean true. We're testing that it is strictly equal to true with three equal signs, and double ampersand, we're testing is logged in is strictly equal to true. So what do you think is going to happen? We're going to let them view the videos of Berlin, aren't we? Because both conditions are true. They've paid, they've signed up, and they've logged in. So here you are enjoy the walking tour videos of Berlin. Now, when you are testing that a Boolean variable is equal to true, okay, you don't actually have to use the triple equal signs and then assign it the value or test to see if it's equal to true there. Any variable that has a Boolean value of true is considered truty in JavaScript, okay? So what you can do is you can actually delete that, delete strictly equal to true for both variables, and this is still going to work, okay? So testing is subscribed and is logged in. That will still work for us, okay? To prove this to you, if I refresh, we still get to see the videos, okay? So basically, when you're testing for a Boolean variable, if its value is true, you don't need to test, the variable name strictly equal to true. You just can put in the variable name, and that is essentially the same thing, okay? So basically, if I say is subscribed, i.e. the variable name, inside of an if statement, basically that's the same thing as testing for, is subscribed strictly equal to true, okay? Awesome. And then because it's just, two variables, the names, you don't really have to have them wrapped in parentheses there if you don't want to. We can just shorten that code up. So now we're just very quickly just saying, is the user subscribed in? And, is the user subscribed? And are they essentially logged in? And in case you're wondering with and, the double ampersand, the logical and here, so this is the logical and, where, both conditions have to be true. You're probably wondering, can you test for multiple conditions, and have another ampersand and test for something else? You absolutely can. So if you wanted, you could do that. So an example of that might be, remember in our nightclub example, maybe you want to test that number 1, you're over 21. Number 2, you've paid, and number 3, you're sober. So that's an example of where you could test for multiple conditions. But we'll leave it there for now. So remember, the key takeaway for this tutorial is we've been introduced now to logical and. The logical and basically means that whether you're testing for 2 conditions or multiple conditions, they all have to be true for the expression to evaluate to true, okay? And remember, the logical and is with 2 ampersands. Okay, awesome. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I'll see you in the next one.